All right, well, Jussie Smollett is a free man.
Let's start out by defining
gay
privilege and what it is and what it is not.
Actor Jussie Smollett was released from jail last night after serving just 6 nights of a 150-day sentence.
Privilege is a special right or advantage or immunity granted or available only to a particular person or group.
Jussie Smollett posted a $150,000 bond after serving 6 of his 150-day sentence in jail.
We said it goes to a group or an individual, and we're talking about the group being
gay.
Ultimately, Jussie was not going to get the same type of support as a straight black man. And it's been obvious. I find it very difficult to believe that this ever would have gotten this far if Jussie was a straight black man.
How does it feel to be free? Can you tell us what the past week has been like? Jussie, do you have anything to say to the judge?
As you guys also may know or may not know, I'm also super gay. So I mean, I want to give it a shot.
I still want to believe, with everything that has happened, that there's something called justice. Because if I stop believing that, then what's it all for?
Jussie Smollett, you too. Go to jail.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and what a wild story the Jussie Smollett thing has turned out to be. By the way, I'm going to be live streaming tonight, probably around 6 o'clock Central. I'd love for you to stop by. Now, we talked about yesterday how quickly it would come to pass whether or not judges made a decision on whether Jussie Smollett should be allowed out of jail while going through his appeal process. The very fact that they argued he would be done with his jail sentence before he would get a chance to see the Court of Appeals was not a legal reason to be dismissed. So 2 of 3 judges had to agree, or I don't know if they're judges or they're like just legal people or whatever. 2 out of 3 would have had to agree to let him out for other reasons that his legal team said were, they were worried about his mental health. They were worried about him getting taken advantage of. And for some corrupt reason, 2 of 3 did in fact agree. And last night, Jussie Smollett walked out of prison or jail with bodyguards in tow. We're going to get into exactly how we got here after a quick word from this video sponsor. It's your boy, Raid Shadow Legends. Huge shout out to this video sponsor. That's right, it's your boy, Raid Shadow Legends. To me, there's really like my top 3 reasons to play Raid Shadow Legends. Look, you can play it as little or as much as you want. That's reason number 1. You can hop in, hop out, or you could spend extended play sessions in there doing all sorts of things. The second reason is they really seem to care about their user base. They add a ton of new content constantly. And the third reason is it's a great way to connect with your friends. Whether they're on an Android or an iPhone or they want to play it on their desktop, you can have your clan, you can hang out with your buddies, and you can play Raid Shadow Legends. In fact, you could find me in the game under the username Colt's Dad. And if you use my link or scan the QR code right here, new players will get a free starter pack worth almost $30 to kickstart your game. We're talking a free champion, Vargas, 200,000 silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 ancient shard so you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get in the game. You'll find all of these rewards here in your inbox for the next 30 days only. It's that easy. Just click the link in the description and I'll see you in the game. Hey, I enjoy playing the game a lot. I play it both on my desktop and on my phone. Give it a try. Just use the link in the description, and it helps the channel just to try it out, and I would greatly appreciate it. Actor Jussie Smollett was sentenced to 150 days in jail. After serving just 6 of them, he's been released while he appeals. As night fell over Cook County Jail on Wednesday, 2 distinct but somewhat contrasting emotions exuded from the defense attorney in one of Illinois' most high-profile cases. Nenye Uche, an attorney for 39-year-old disgraced loser liar Jussie Smollett, was elated when his client had been released from jail after serving just 6 days of a 150-day sentence for staging a crime against himself in January back in 2019. On Wednesday, an appellate court ordered that Smollett should be free while he prepares an appeal. But as Uche talked to reporters, there was also palpable disappointment over what he deemed a flawed justice system. While everyone was focused on the sensationalism surrounding his case, people were not focused on the constitutionality of prosecution, Uche said. Smollett's original charges were dropped almost 1 month after police accused him of orchestrating the hoax, only to be taken up again by a new prosecutor assigned to the case in August 2019. This past December, he was convicted on 5 of 6 felony counts. Now, if you don't remember, the reason he got off in the first place, in my opinion, is corrupt politicians. Was it her name Kim Foxx? And you had Michelle Obama and Kamala Harris all tweeting about it, pressuring local politicians to make an exception for Jussie Smollett, which is why he got off in the first place. The collective general public of people not with that kind of privilege saw this happen in real time and were obviously and rightfully completely outraged by it. And thus, we got an actual non-sham trial in which he was convicted on 5 of 6 counts. Should have been all 6. Known for his on-screen work in the television series Empire and his childhood role in The Mighty Ducks, Smollett, who is black and gay, of course, that's always important, claimed that 2 masked men, blah, 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 blah. Nearly 2 months after the fake crime, Cook County State Attorney Kim Foxx, okay, I was right about that name, unexpectedly dismissed Smollett's charges in March 2019, but 2 months later, Cook County Judge Michael Tooman appointed Dan Webb as special prosecutor in the case, tasking him with investigating Fox's handling of the case and decided whether Smolett should be prosecuted further. The move led to a new indictment and a trial, which Fox criticized as a kangaroo prosecution, which is absolutely rich, coming from the corrupt politician who allowed favors to be called in and perpetrated a miscarriage of justice. It's absolutely rich coming from a Chicago politician, which has a rich history of being corrupt all the way back to, the days of, remember Blagojevich and, was it Capone or whatever? There was another mobster brother. I can't remember who it was. I had to get it mixed up. Anyway, no, Chicago politics are completely corrupt, just like most of them. Last week, Cook County Jail Judge James Lynn ordered the actor pay $120K in restitution, plus a $25K fine, and serve 30 months probation and 150 days in the clink. Before rendering his sentence, Lynn delivered a scathing rebuke, accusing Smallett, who had maintained his innocence, of throwing a national pity party for himself, which of course he did. Now, after he'd been released, so at 4:12 p.m. after less than a week behind bars on a 150-day sentence for faking the crime, Smallett will be walking out of the Cook County Jail on Wednesday. Now, I want to be clear. This does not mean that he is done with time in jail. All this means is he's basically getting a stay, as far as I understand it, of his time. Meaning, when his appeal fails, and it absolutely should, by the way, he has to go back in. So instead of serving his time like a G, like Martha Stewart, he's being a huge baby about it. The guy would have been out in 75 days with good behavior and probably would have been done less than 30 days, in my opinion. Instead, now he's had to go through the intake process and all of that, just, I believe, to keep his name in the headlines. If he had just put his head down and done his service, his time, nobody would be talking about him. Now, it's all anyone can talk about because it's absolutely ridiculous. So he gets to keep his name in the headlines, not just for this week, but then during his appeal and then during his subsequent redeployment to jail, which he absolutely should be facing. Now, some of the reaction is exactly how you would expect. Is this a joke? Fury, disbelief, and mockery as Jussie Smollett is released from jail after serving just 6 days of a 5-day sentence for lying to cops. by the way, if you're here on the channel, you guys have been doing a great job. I really, 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 really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, there's a red subscribe button down below the video. If it's red, that means you're not subscribed. Sometimes people get unsubscribed. Please consider clicking that subscribe button today. It helps new people find the channel. It shows YouTube that, hey, people actually care about my videos, and thus sometimes it actually shows it to people in the search results. So hopefully I've earned your subscription. I upload 5 to 6 times a day, 6 days a week. I would greatly appreciate your help. Smallett's release from jail on Wednesday spawned a wave of disbelief. Thank you, by the way. Sincerely, thank you. I know it's a pain. I know people get sick of me asking, but if you don't ask, you don't get. And my videos aren't exactly promoted ahead of all my competition like CNN and Fox News and all this mainstream garbage. So I have to be a little more beggy. Now, let's look at some of the reaction. On Wednesday night, he was released by an appeals panel that took sympathy on him. As Smallett recuperated with family on Thursday, social media erupted with memes and jokes about him. Vince Langman writes, if you live in Chicago, please be careful. The hate crime criminal who went after Jussie Smollett was released from jail last night. Warning to Chicagoans, Jussie Smollett's attacker has just been released from jail. Please, please, please be careful when you're out there on your 3 a.m. subway run. Mike writes, my daughter's mother spent more time in jail than Jussie because she had a warrant for her arrest for possession. She hadn't even been arrested and faced a judge for an actual warrant. Almost 4 months. Jussie was out in 5 days. Lady Jam writing, what a farce. This is Kamala calling in a favor, I am sure. I don't disagree. Jussie to be released from jail on bond pending his appeal. Lauren Chen making the list, writing, Jussie Smollett has already been released, serving less than a week of his 5-month sentence. I knew this would happen. Privilege is real, but the main driver isn't gender or race. It's social status and wealth, and Smallett has both. That's absolutely true. You know, having a big pile of money and having like notoriety, this is far more corrupting or far more privileged than being a member of a double protected class as Jussie is. My prediction is he'll come out as trans in the coming weeks just to make sure he has every possible ounce. You see Danny Urbina writing, I will not sleep at peace knowing Jussie's attacker now roams free. It's a circus, a joke with a clown. The entertainment industry should understand that there are millions of people who will not watch anything they put him in. Jussie Smollett leaves jail just 6 days after sentencing. Could someone please tap Jussie on the shoulder and remind him that his charges were due to his lies and not because he led a 1,000,000-man march? Wait, never mind. Don't tap him. He may fall out and claim that you went after him. Never mind. Never mind. Ice water, that's been his food and liquid. I can only imagine if I was in jail for something I didn't do, I wouldn't be eating, he said. Jussie did not speak to confirm the claims as he left jail. Ice water, that's been his food and liquid. So he hasn't eaten. He went on a hunger strike, apparently. Smallett did not speak to confirm the claims as he left jail and looked svelte in a smart black t-shirt and matching pants as he was flanked by bodyguards who walked him to a waiting SUV. The performer was freed by the appeals panel so he could contest his conviction for faking this crime back in 2019. Uche also told reporters how his client had, quote, nearly given up after his conviction, which saw him rage at the judge who jailed him before spending 4 of his 6 days behind bars in a psych ward tied to a table. He was freed after he posted the required $150K personal recognizance bond. Uche also revealed that the actor put his hands on the glass separating him from the client when the news was broken to him and reacted with shock. He was shocked, he said. He had nearly given up. Wow, 4 days in a county jail, and Jussie was ready to just leap off the cliff. What an absolute corrupt piece of trash. And I'm not talking about Jussie. He's a loser, period. But I'm talking about everybody who allowed this to happen. Essentially, local Chicagoan politicians allowed the mainstream media and social media to pressure them into releasing a man who was not in any kind of danger, being the fact that he was in protective custody. He wasn't having any thoughts of self-harm. He was doing this all as an act. It's literally his job. I hope every citizen of Chicago realizes how important this case is, because it could be you. You should never, ever be tried again for something a second time, is what his attorney's trying to say. Essentially, it's the Bill defense, basically saying that, well, a corrupt politician already gave him a terrible deal, and so therefore he should be able to avoid any kind of justice. Lord help me. I'm telling you, I am very nervous that this dude is going to totally beat this rap, and it's absolutely pathetic. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.